So we are officially 2 days away from the match between Atletico Madrid and FC Barcelona. This is going to be a Copa del Rey semi-final match, and the first leg will take place on Thursday night. I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is a final before the final because Atletico Madrid will cause chaos. Yes, they have been losing points in the league, but when it comes to a semi-final match and they're playing FC Barcelona at the Metropolitano, it's a huge deal. You don't know what to expect. Barcelona are currently the protectors and the holders of the Copa del Rey because they did win the Copa del Rey in the previous season, and they're also the most dominant team in Spain as of right now. And for Atletico Madrid, this is all they have to play for the rest of the season, because I don't think, realistically, but I just don't think Atletico Madrid will catch up to Real Madrid and FC Barcelona in the league anymore, because the gap is just too wide. And so if Atletico Madrid want to win any sort of trophy this season, it's going to have to be the Copa del Rey. They're going to have to give it their all. So could Atletico Madrid take down the previous champions of the Copa del Rey? We'll see. And so let's talk about that. So Barcelona are going to be arriving into this game as the league leaders after 23 matches with 58 points, 63 goals scored, and 23 goals conceded. Barcelona have a perfect run at home in the league, and they arrive fresh off of a 3-0 win over Mallorca. So it showcases that Barcelona are a team that know how to defend their own home. They know how to outscore the opposition, and even though we don't show the early control in many matches, Barcelona usually find the solution in the end, by the end of the second half. So I am going to be expecting a game where Barcelona are going to try and score, but I just don't think it's going to be happening in the first half because of how many games we have seen where they have made a lot of mistakes. They have given the opposition multiple chances to score very early. Atletico is going to want to take advantage of that. At this point of the season, Barcelona is a team where they just have to have the attitude of, we have to score more than you. Like, you're going to score against us, but we're going to score more against you. I think that with an attitude like that, it will be enough for Barcelona to go through the whole run and get the Copa del Rey in the end, because at least we don't even have Real Madrid for the final. Like, Real Madrid have already been out a couple of weeks ago. If Barcelona do take down Atletico Madrid after 2 legs, the only remaining 2 teams that we could go up against, it is Real Sociedad and Bilbao. And let's look at the current status of Atletico Madrid, because they do sit in third after 23 league matches with 45 points, conceding fewer goals than almost anyone but scoring far less to Barcelona. All in all, my conclusion for Atletico Madrid is this: they are dominant, they can be confident, they can be imposing, but they're very inconsistent away from home and fragile. Because for Atletico Madrid, when they play at home, they feel like they are Atletico Madrid. When they're not at their home, they don't feel like they are Atletico Madrid. So I just don't know how Atletico Madrid are going to be approaching Barcelona. We'll see in terms of their level of performance, because I just don't understand how you win away against Real Betis 5-0 and then play at home and then lose 1-0 to Real Betis. It just doesn't make any sense. And so I do expect for chaos to happen. We look at last season's Copa semifinal between these two, and it exploded. In the first leg, it was 4-4 at Barcelona, and then Barcelona did defeat Atletico Madrid 1-0 in Madrid to settle the whole tie. But Barcelona do have the capacity this season to turn that chaos into full self-control, because we have already defeated Atletico Madrid earlier this season 3-1 with Rafinha scoring a goal, Olmo, Ferran Torres as well, and Barcelona overall had a very good collective performance. I am going to be expecting from Barcelona to place their high line extremely high, like higher than usual, because the objective against Atletico Madrid is to compress, right? Shrink up the pitch, suffocate the space for the opposition, and provoke offsides. Make sure that they get all the offsides no matter what, and win the ball closer to goal to score as fast as possible. That has been our game, and that is exactly what Barcelona will need to do to achieve success. Under Flick, Barcelona by no means are a slow burn possession team. They are a vertical pressing machine. They want to win the ball, go forward immediately, counter press if the move does fail as well, and that's also going to demand for specific players to start in this game, and we're going to be talking about that in just a few minutes. But that's all I do want to see: press, regain the ball, accelerate, press again. Very simple. I believe that if Barcelona can just overwhelm the opposition by making a lot of decisions extremely quickly, right? Pass the ball on the right, pass the ball on the left, through the center, pass it back, pass it forward, and press over and over again. Create those 1-2s from the right side to the left side. That is exactly what we do need, and not hypnotize the opponent with the ball and pass the ball from left to right very slow. Like, you don't want to do that. We want to overwhelm Atletico Madrid, and that's really going to work, because you look at Atletico Madrid and their identity this season. I can't even tell you what they play. Very similar to like Real Madrid, because yes, we do see them counterattack in multiple scenarios, but at the same time, they also try to circulate the ball, right? Have possession, but it's circulation without clarity, in my opinion, because I don't see them going anywhere with the ball. So it's highly expected that Rafinha will not feature in this game. Most likely, it is going to be Marcus Rashford, and even though we would like to see Rafinha go up against Atletico Madrid because he is a great pressing trigger, his fitness is very uncertain, and so Rashford is going to have to be the main guy on the left wing position, and expect a different game coming from Marcus Rashford to Rafinha. His role is very different. There is less positional discipline, more direct runs, and more threat behind the line because he has the athleticism, and that really is going to matter against a Atletico Madrid side that is going to be implementing a back five. I'm also going to be expecting Lamine Yamal to play a huge match on the right wing position because he can break systems. We talked about this before. Lamine Yamal is the anomaly, a player who can receive the ball between the fullback and the center back, leading to most likely 2 or 3 players trying to get on top of Lamine Yamal, and Lamine Yamal is going to have to look for that open man when he does pull a lot of defenders on the right, like maybe look for Rashford, maybe look for Firmino Lopez and Lewandowski. Lamine Yamal has been on a great goal scoring form, scoring many goals, providing a lot of assists as well. He's on a different level this season, by the way. So there is no way that Atletico Madrid could ignore our player Lamine Yamal, because in the previous match against Mallorca, he scored a goal. Against Albacete, he also scored a goal. Against Elche, he scored a goal as well. Against Copenhagen, he had an assist and a goal. Against Real Oviedo, 1 goal. Real Sociedad, an assist. Against Racing Santander, another goal. That is 8 goal contributions in the past 7 matches in all competitions. And then you look at Atletico Madrid and what they could have. And a player that does look dangerous to me, it is Lookman. Lookman does change Atletico Madrid. Like he does. Like I remember when I saw Lookman have that debut, he looked very fast, very pacey, always willing to out-dribble the opposition, and his timing is exceptional. So most likely we are going to be seeing Jules Koundé go up against Lookman, and Koundé is going to have to be on top of his toes because Lookman is the perfect player when it comes to running behind a high defensive line. And so I'm going to be expecting for Barcelona to field an 11 like this, with Joan Garcia in goal, Koundé on the right back position, Kubarsi and Eric Garcia as our main center back pairing, with Alejandro Balde on the left. I'm telling you guys, Eric Garcia and Kubarsi are becoming our main center back pairing for this season. It is no longer Inigo Martinez and Kubarsi, but it is Kubarsi and Eric Garcia, and Eric Garcia has done exceptional over the past 7 to 8 matches. As for the midfield, I expect to see Frenkie de Jong and Dani Olmo, a double pivot that has been working. We have seen this happen for 4 to 5 matches. Dani Olmo does understand how to play next to Frenkie de Jong, and Frenkie has also rejoined the group training sessions, and he is going to be available for the match against Atletico Madrid. And then as for our attack, I expect to see Lamine Yamal on the right wing, Rashford on the left, Firmino Lopez as the number 10, and Lewandowski up top. I know that many will have questions about Ferran Torres, but I think that now it is the time to rotate. We should have Lewandowski there. He has a lot of experience on knowing what it's like to play against Atletico Madrid, and if you combine Firmino Lopez to play right behind him, I think that Lewandowski can find the ball much more, because Firmino Lopez would be able to press the opposition, press the center backs, force the ball to go vertical, and in the end give Lewandowski more chances to find the goal. So my final prediction for this match is going to be a 2-1 win for FC Barcelona. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.